lost 4 times to the Rangers last season. But 2 nights ago at the Rock came a game to build on, and the Devils' first point earned in the standings. What better time for John Hynes to get his first win than while getting his first taste of the Hudson River rivalry? Devils Rangers coming up next.
Part of the Tri-State Challenge presented by Chevrolet, and it's displayed on the marquee at 31st and 7th, the first matinee of the Devils season. It's the first of 4 between these Cross River rivals. It's the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers today on MSG+. Today on the MSG networks, you can catch this game and Ranger coverage of it on MSG, and the Philadelphia Union taking on the Red Bulls later at 2:30. That's on MSG Plus 2. We'll join them in progress when our game is over. As we welcome you inside the Garden, players on both sides of this matchup today have been teammates. 2 Devils played for the Rangers last year. They have played for the same alma maters in college, but today they're enemies on the ice. As we go to our friends in the booth, it's Steve Cangelosi and Ken Danico.
All right, good afternoon, Deb. Yeah, a lot's changed since their playoff battle in 2012. For the Devils, of course, it's been a struggle. 7 players remain from that roster in the 2012 playoffs, that's all. Kenny, you and I were talking. Their focus today is to win the day, get their season going.
Well, it doesn't matter which direction both teams are going, where they are in the standings. There's always a little more luster when the New York Rangers and the New Jersey Devils play. Devils played a real good game against San Jose, managed to get a point. What better way to get their confidence built up by beating their crosstown rival, the Rangers, today? And I always love the fans because they have that 24-hour bragging rights. No, the more important factor for the Devils is get their first victory, but you always have that when you beat the New York Rangers because we know the proximity of both hockey clubs.
Well, New Jersey's coming off probably its best game of the 4. Adam Henrique was wonderful in that game. He scored his 2nd goal of the season, had a team-high 7 shots, led all Devils forwards in ice time, and Kenny, they're going to keep him at center ice position today after starting the year at left wing.
And they had some chemistry, so why not? Coach Hynes, just like a lot of coaches around the National Hockey League early in the year, you try to find combinations that have something going on. They did, even though the Devils scored 1 goal. There's Adams' goal that tied it late in that game. Beautiful deflection, and here he's getting himself in position. He was feeling it last game. Adam Henrique, we always talk about how important he is to this hockey team. When he's going, the team seems to be going and clicking. There in the shootout, he scores early where you think the Devils had a good opportunity of winning this hockey game. So Adam Henrique stays in the middle. He played very well with Mike Camilleri and Lee Stempniak. Yes, they scored 1 goal, but the chances were there. And 7 shots on goal. You know Adam Henrique's confidence is building as the games go along here. They're going to expect big things from him tonight if they're going to beat the New York Rangers.
Well, the Rangers started with 3 straight wins. Now they've lost 2 in a row coming into this afternoon. Here's an example of their inconsistency. A rookie who's red hot, a veteran who is not. We're talking about Oscar Lindberg, who scored 4 goals. He was the NHL's 2nd star of the week, his first full week as an NHL player. Rick Nash, the longest drought ever for him at the start of the year. He's looking to get going. You think it's a matter of time for Nash.
He had a terrific year last year, as we know. Rick Nash scoring 41 times for the New York Rangers. He's had a lot of shots as well. Here's Oscar Lindberg first. There's one of his goals early on the season. He's 4-0 with a 1.31 ERA, Steve. Going for the Cy Young. All kidding aside, everything he shoots seems to be finding the back of the net. He's big, he's strong, he has a terrific shot, and his season to start out very well. Rick Nash, a big, strong guy, has to be physically engaged to get his game going. You saw the hit there. They're a good shot, using his speed, driving to the net, and the Devils hope it's not today. He gets on track. He's a guy that's very dangerous if he's playing perimeter hockey, stopping up when he gains the offensive line. He's not as effective when he goes hard to the net, use that big body to shield off defensemen. He's an awfully dangerous player, one of the elite goal scorers in the game. Devils have to keep an eye out for Rick Nash this afternoon.
I love this. Late breakfast and we're ready for hockey. The 1 o'clock start. For the Devils, Corey Schneider, superb 2 nights ago in Newark. Like his team, though, he's seeking his first win of the season. Traditionally a slow starter, Henrik Lundqvist has been superb out of the gate, opening.
Watching the rivalry, it was my favorite games to watch, obviously. But they're intense, and there's a lot of passion and a lot of animosity between the fans. So it'll be exciting, and it'll be cool to go into MSG as a Devil and do it for my first time. So I'm really looking forward to it.
The Devils have won 2 of their last 4 games here at Madison Square Garden, and that includes Eric Gelena's overtime game winner. Let's go up to Steve and Dano.
All right, thanks a lot, Deb. In goal for the Rangers for a 6th consecutive time to start the season is Henrik Lundqvist. Regular season and playoff appearances combined. This is his 737th appearance in goal for New York. That's 5 behind Mike Richter for the all-time franchise lead. Corey Schneider at the opposite end has been a dad for 5 days. Stopped a penalty shot Friday from Patrick Marleau in his first exceptional performance this year. He made 33 saves against the Sharks. See if this is where he settles into a rhythm. And we're underway, the matinee at Madison Square Garden. First afternoon tilt of the season for New Jersey. And quickly, the Devils are offside 9 seconds in.
Steve, we touched on this could be a real confidence booster for the Devils if they somehow find a way to beat the Rangers, who are coming off 2 consecutive losses. We know they're going to be hungry, and the Devils have had a tough time against New York as of late, although they have won a few games in the Garden over the last few years. So this is expected to be a real good match, and the Devils really need this one to get their first victory.
Camilleri, Henrik, Stempniak start out. Line that was pretty effective Friday night in the loss against San Jose. Henrik with the Devils' only goal on a deflection. Mike Camilleri guides this back. Andy Green, Adam Larson starting defense tandem for New Jersey as Stempniak sends it in deep. Camilleri takes a shove from Chris Kreider, and now pinching in. Devils send it back in deep. Travis Zajac steps on for his first shift of the afternoon. Good to see 19 back in the lineup. The Devils, though, see the Rangers break out. Kreider's shot is held by Corey Schneider.
And as expected, Henrik Lundqvist in the nets for the New York Rangers, and he's been awfully good early on in the season, Steven. In fact, when the Rangers got off to a 3-0 start, he was a star in every game, and sometimes that masks your overall team performance, and the Rangers have found out they got some areas they need to correct and have mixed and matched lines as well, as they were shut out by the Canadiens. So they're trying to find the right chemistry and get some of their top guys going.
Come off that 3-0 defeat. Chance here for Derek Brassard, and his shot is saved by Corey Schneider, and that's the first big stop of the afternoon for either side. Rangers stay with it as Brassard plays this behind the net. Early pressure here by New York. Jesper Fast, hounded by Zajac, now looks for space and drops it back to Kreider. Keith Yandel at the point gives up the puck and winds it around. This afternoon's lineups are brought to you by Infinity. Opening minute and a half, shot by Dan Girardi is stopped by Schneider. Yuri Tlusny takes the rebound, and it's punched the other way by Severson. Girardi loses his edge, and the Devils able to dump it back the other way. It's an icing call against New Jersey, a minute 50 in.
What a save in the early going from Corey Schneider as David Schlemko battled the puck, lost it. It was a bouncing puck, and Derek Brassard was in all alone. Let's take a look right here. David Schlemko took a gamble and lost there, as he probably should have backed up a few steps. Puck bouncing, Derek Brassard in alone. Huge save early on from Corey Schneider.
Off the draw, Schlemko tries to bank it out of the zone. This puck deflects out of play for another stoppage. Behind the Rangers bench is Alain Vigneault. 3 times in his career, he's led a team to the President's Trophy. Named the 35th head coach in Rangers history back in June of 2013. A familiarity with the goaltender in white today. Corey Schneider, 5 seasons with Vancouver with Alain Vigneault as his head coach. Dumped in, and another stoppage in play just seconds later.
Saw Damon Severson, the young Devils defenseman, jump into the lineup after sitting and maybe having a little message sent that nothing will be handed in. Part of a process, growing process for young defenseman. I thought his confidence was much better last game. You saw it. He picked up an assist with a real good shot in the deflection from Adam Henrique against the Sharks. And high expectations for this young man, and he's taking it all in stride. He's starting to understand that It's just about consistency and playing with intensity on a nightly basis.
Wait for the first goal continues for him. He took the shot that was deflected by Henrique on Friday against San Jose for the lone goal. For the Rangers, Dominic Moore drops this back. Mark Stahl plays it across. He's paired with the veteran Dan Boyle, age 39. Defense tandem for the Rangers as we see Eric Jelena bank this away for New Jersey, and giving chase is Reed Boucher. Bearing down on Boyle. Taken away by New Jersey, Adam Henrique sees the puck guided away by New York, and Stahl and the Rangers able to punch this out to center. First of 4 meetings between the teams this season. The Devils know last season it was all Rangers. They won all 4 meetings, 3 of them in regulation. Behind the net, Camilleri tries to find the handle. Punched away by New York. Larson trying to hold the zone. No can do, and Oscar Lindberg wakes this across. Backhand try, they score! What a pretty play! And the Rangers are on the board. Derek Stepan. 3 minutes and change in, and the Devils trail.
This all starts at the Rangers' blue line. Adam Larson tries to pinch. Ends up costing him right here, and you want to see the Devils on the offensive and making it difficult for the Rangers, but the puck bounced off his skate. Little bit of a tough break, picked up by Oscar Lindberg. He has an outnumbered situation, and he feeds a cross-ice pass to Derek Stepan, and what a move he makes. The quick little backhand move and 5-hole on Corey Schneider to give the Rangers the lead.
New Jersey has surrendered the first goal in each of the 5 games it's played so far this season.
Steve, sometimes in these afternoon games, you see the Devils, David Schlemko early on, bobbled the puck. You got to play a little more tentative. I guess what I mean by is a little more careful. Don't take as many risks early on until you get your legs into it. Because sometimes, no matter what, at a 1 o'clock start, it takes you a little time to get the flow going. And the Devils have been caught a little bit here. I know that bounced off Adam Larson's skate and took a carom. But the Rangers execute beautifully.
Another chance as that's fired by Kreider wide of the net. Poked back towards the point. Ryan McDonough, Ranger captain, works it across. Andy Green wearing the C for the Devils. Can't get it out of harm's way. Puck goes off an imperfection in the boards, and now Larson works it ahead, and the Devils punch it out to center. Well, you had Lindberg up for the Cy Young Award as we started, and that's his first assist of the season, by the way, down for New York.
And it was a beauty. Beautiful cross-ice pass. Recognized Stepan breaking to the net hard, and he put it right on the tape.
Pass intended for J.T. Miller. Gets by him. Back into the Devils' end. Severson winds it around, and the loose puck picked up by Jordan Tutu, who darts back the other way for the Devils. Off-wing shot. Saved by Henrik Lundqvist, and Severson looks to send it back in deep. Jacob Josephson able to hold the zone and funnel it into the corner. Girardi for the Rangers plays it behind the net. Heath Yandel is on the puck, and that's off a Devil's stick and deflected out of play.
Steve, when I said tentative, probably conservative is the better terminology for that. As far as the Devils, you can see they're a little bit tight right now and probably a little too tentative, but maybe play the game, you know, from the dots out, cover the middle of the ice until you find your way and get some flow to your game. Right now they don't. The Rangers have come out and with a purpose and have really dominated the first part of this game.
Response was not bad against San Jose on Friday after surrendering the early goal to Patrick Marleau as Schneider covers up and stops the clock here.
One guy they hope that can start finding the back of the net is young Reed Boucher. Had 3 shots against the Sharks, and some of those were quality chances. He played just over 13 minutes, and you can see it coming for Reed Boucher. The next step is to start finding the back of the net, but the chances were there against the Sharks the other night.
Off the draw, John Moore, the ex-Ranger, sends it out to center. Stefan Matteau back in the Devils lineup tonight. Hit along the far boards and battle for the loose puck. Reaching out for it is Sergei Kalinin, and Moore, Dominic that is, sends it back the other way towards the Devils' end, where John Moore works it ahead for Steven Giunta. Kalinin giving chase. Rangers send this the length of the ice. David Schlemko is back to collect for New Jersey. Stepan's goal, his 3rd of the season, the lone assist from Lindberg at 3:13. Back come the Rangers again. Stepan, return pass from Zuccarello. Big save made by Schneider, and the rebound loose, but the Rangers couldn't pop it home.
Devils turning far too many pucks over in the first 5.5 minutes of this hockey game, Steve. There's another glorious opportunity for Derek Stepan. Nash was there for the rebound as well, but Corey Schneider keeps the Devils in it, and they got to get their game going. They got to get their feet going and spend time in the Rangers' end.
Camilleri on the move here. His shot blocked away by McDonough, and the Ranger captain settles it down. Played ahead, and now New York with the soft dump in courtesy of Rick Nash. Schneider under pressure behind his net, gives here to Severson. Devils with a different approach to the game at Madison Square Garden. They stayed in the Manhattan Hotel last night, able to walk over to the rink this morning. John Hines saying a little bit less hectic for the guys. And nevertheless, they trail early on here at the Garden. Green works it ahead. Pass intended for Kyle Palmieri, picked up at center ice by Jesper Fast. 6.5 in. Rangers with the early lead. Kreider over the line. Looking for the cutting Jesper Fast. Got by him. Now Tulowitzki delivers a hit on Derek Brassard. Puck battle on the far side. Squirts loose, and Adam Larson takes this for New Jersey. Yandel trying to hold the zone. Taken instead by Zajac. Got Tulowitzki with him, but slowed up by Derek Brassard. Rangers again started with 3 straight wins, trying to avoid a 3rd straight loss here this afternoon. As Dano mentioned, the heroics of Henrik Lundqvist had much to do with the winning start. Larson trying to navigate space in the corner, under pressure here from J.T. Miller. Works it ahead on the backhand, and the Devils get it out to center.
You see the Rangers real good anticipation, knowing where those passes from the Devils are going in their zone, and they've got the better jump here in the first period. And the Devils are going to have to, like I said, really try to find their legs here.
2-2. Lost control of the puck. Boyle works it across, and here's big Kevin Hayes over the line for New York. Tries to funnel one in deep. Moore batted it out of midair. Back come the Devils the other way. Here's John Moore, part of the rush, and plays it behind the net. Lundqvist sees the puck taken away. Sergei Kalinin shoved down in the corner. Rangers take the puck away. Now Gianta battling along the near boards. Yandel tries to chop it out of the zone. Holding the zone. Gelinon, a big shot, is saved by Lundqvist. Good pressure by New Jersey for the first time this afternoon as Matteau sends it in deep. Cycles this for Steven Gianta. Tried to throw it in front for Kalinin, but broken up.
It was a nice job from Eric Gelinas, handling a bouncing puck at the blue line, and in one motion taking the big slap shot. Best scoring chance from far as far as the New Jersey Devils concerned. But nice play by Eric. Nice, calm way he settled down that puck.
Rangers have 6 of the first 8 shots this afternoon. Kevin Klein, pass intercepted by Severson. Back the other way. Stempniak for New Jersey. Wrist shot and a pad save by Lundqvist. Camilleri lost control of the puck, taken away by New York, and dumped in by Dominic Moore. Loose behind the Devils' net. Taken here by New Jersey, and Severson will send it out to center. Devils seeking their first win of the season this afternoon, trying to snap a 6-game winless streak in the head-to-head series. Dominic Moore trying to go wide on Schlemko, made the nice defensive play.
Good poke check from Schlemko. His gap wasn't very good there as he was on his heels, but he recovered very nicely with a slick stick, poking the puck away from Moore.
Josephson motoring into the Ranger end. Puck taken away by the Rangers, and it's punched ahead for Victor Stahlberg. Winger signed as a free agent back on July 1st for New York. Cup winner with the Chicago Blackhawks, taken here by Larson. Into the Rangers' end, giving chase, Reed Boucher. Bears down on Boyle. Rangers, though, look to break out. That's Larson taking the puck away, sending it right back in. 2-2 could have given chase. Instead, Devils will execute the change in full as Larson takes back in his own end.
Rangers really going for that home run pass, and that's how they executed their first goal. Devils got caught standing up. Their defenseman a little bit, so the Rangers see a little vulnerability early on from the Devils, trying to make that long pass, catch them on odd man rushes.
Fast-moving first period. We've already played better than 10 minutes as this puck deflects out of play, and we'll step aside for the first time this afternoon at the Garden. The Rangers lead. Back with the Cadillac trivia question. You're looking at Henrik Lundqvist. He's the all-time leader in victories against the Devils with 33. in his career. We're asking who is second on that list. I'm thinking old Patrick Division, old Atlantic Division.
Great question from our crack staff and Amanda back in the truck. And I would think it's somebody that played in the 80s era through the 90s, because that's when we lost a few more games in the 80s. After 95, we didn't lose a whole lot, Steve. So I don't know which goaltender that would have been. So I'm guessing, and we'll try to figure that out. It's going to be somebody that played in the mid-80s. To the late 90s.
Let's see if you are correct, sir. Off the draw, Yandel's shot is blocked away by Schneider. Gloved out of the zone by Palmieri. Picked up at center ice on a hand pass by Talusti, and the faceoff will go back into the Devils' end. Devils seem to have settled this down a bit since the goal by Derek Stepan.
Yeah, definitely, Steve. I think they got themselves a couple of shots, a couple opportunities, and that's what they have to do, is just settle in here. The Rangers came out flying, and if not for Corey Schneider, could easily be a 3-0 game. He's made some big saves. Now they have to pick it up a little bit for Corey as he's kept them in this.
Off the face-off, Girardi sends it in deep. Chris Kreider in the corner. Now Brassard sent it off the side of the net. Here's Andy Green. Sealed off in the corner. Devils navigate this well, and Palmieri punches it ahead for Yuri Talusti. Dumps into the Rangers zone, and Talusti gives chase himself. Free agent acquisition by the Devils on the eve of camp, wearing number 9 in white. Kreider darts back the other way. One-hands it deep into the Devils' end. Adam Larson there, and now converging on him to take the puck away is Kyle Palmieri. Big afternoon for him. Rangers fan who grew up in New Jersey, back playing at the Garden today. Says the number of ticket requests not nearly what it used to be. Stahl works it across. Trying to hold the zone is Henrique, and he does. Stempniak guides it across. Nice job by Cavallari. Controls off the skate at the side of the net. Oh, he had Adam Henrique, and he couldn't get a shot on goal. Back come the Rangers in transition. Mark Stahl able to drop this. Lindbergh works it across, and the shot on the one-timer is stopped by Schneider.
It looked like Eric Gelinas may have got a piece of that as well.
Stempniak back the other way, shooting on Rundqvist, who makes the save. Now things opening up. JT Miller with Hayes trying to hold the zone, but he's a step offside. We'll step aside again at the Garden. 1-0 Rangers on top in the matinee.
DraftKings bring us our DraftKings Spotlight. Coming in on Tuesday to the Rock is the Arizona Coyotes, and that young man, Max Domi, son of Yes, one of the all-time tough guys in the National Hockey League. Ty Domi, look at his season thus far. Boy, 6 points in 5 games. He's been electrifying. Play daily fantasy hockey on DraftKings.com, the official fantasy partner of the National Hockey League.
Rangers gave up a youngster by the name of Anthony Duclair, who's been riding shotgun with Max Domi and has been something of a watch himself, including his first career NHL hat trick celebrated earlier this week. Look forward to that.
I'd like to say that we're going to have a special guest on Tuesday coming on with us, I believe, in between the first and second intermission. And that was a guy that I didn't like too much on the ice and have become very friendly with. That's Max's father, Ty Domi.
I was going to say, do I have to get between you? That goes towards Lundqvist, blocked away in front and picked up here by Moore. I'd estimate 4 or 5 times you and he might have dropped the gloves.
We did. He had over 3,000 penalty minutes in his National Hockey League career. But I'm sure he's much happier watching his son flourish.
Dominic Moore with a shot. That's deflected away. Stays in play. Picked up by Stefan Matteau, who darts back the other way and dumps in. Full change for each team.
I was thinking, Steve, he probably likes giving his knuckles a rest, and again watching his son. How proud can you be watching his son play his first game and start his career the way Max Domi has?
This puck really squirts out in front. Schneider guides it away. Rangers hold the zone as it's collected by Stepan, the player with the lone goal today. Shuttled across, now defended away by Adam Larson and banked out of the zone by Tutu. Here's Girardi back in his own end. Just over 7 minutes to play, opening period. Derek Stepan's goal, the difference. 1-0 Rangers this afternoon. Nash in the corner with Stepan and Zuccarello. Alain Vigneault really worked his lines and defensive players differently at practice yesterday, shaking things up for a team that's dropped 2 in a row. Zuccarello checked by Larson. Stepan trying to find the handle. Now Boucher tries to send the Devils on their way. Pass intended for Josephson broken up. Devils get it across, and now Larson works this for Jordan Tootoo. To center ice, Josephson will dump in. Rangers 2 victories shy of a return trip to the Stanley Cup Final, or 1 victory shy of a return trip to the Cup Final last year, losing in this building a Game 7 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Picked up here, Zajac deflects it ahead, taken here by Palmieri. Kyle Palmieri works this for John Moore, tries to get a shot away. He was bothered just enough by Yandel. Lifted away by the Rangers and sent into the Devil's zone by Chris Kreider.
That was also the back checking of Jesper Fast there, Steve. He did a real good job on picking up the defenseman John Moore, who would have been in all alone.
Picked up at center, J.T. Miller. His pass broken up as Jelena got a stick on that. And Stahl will play this back in his own end for New York. 9th year New York Ranger Mark Stahl on the puck and works it across. Schlemko banks it back out to center. Girardi sends the Rangers right back the other way. Here's Lindbergh motoring into the Devil's zone. Tries to feed it for Hayes, but that's broken up, and Camilleri on the puck for New Jersey. Yandel punches this ahead. Miller at center ice. Into the Devil's end where Severson collects. Schlemko works it ahead. Josephson sees the puck taken away. Now back come the Rangers. J.T. Miller works it across. Tries to feed the cutting Kevin Hayes. Broken up by the Devils, and now Jelena in transition for New Jersey. Pass off the stick of Camilleri. Bouncing puck controlled here by Josephson. Tries to center one in front, and it's a 2-on-2 the other way. Back come the Rangers. Moore works it across for Stahlberg. The return pass into the glove of Corey Schneider. And with 4:31 to go in the opening period, we'll step aside at MSG.
4.5 minutes away from the New Jersey Lottery intermission report. Hope you'll stay with us for that. We're right to the right of Corey Schneider, and unfortunately for the Devils, John McClain has had an up-close and personal look at this first period because the Devils have been in this end most of it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of action here. The one thing they're going to have to look at, the Ranger D are really joining the rush here. They're getting up, they're keeping plays alive in the offensive zone, so the Devils are going to have to work on that.
Okay, thanks, John. We'll see you on the New Jersey Lottery intermission report for more. Let's go back to Steve.
All right, thank you very much, Deb and Johnny Mac. Look forward to the first intermission presented by New Jersey Lottery. This is nothing new for the Rangers. They've outscored the opposition 9-2 in the first period so far this season. Come off that 3-0 defeat against Montreal, though. Off the draw, New York controls, and the shot is hammered wide. Deflecting out to center and taking this for New York. Dominic Moore works it ahead and picks up Boyle. Back the other way from the Rangers. Dumped in. Here's Victor Stahlberg. Winds it around, and Boyle gets on this for New York. Sent into the corner. Hops over the stick of Jarrett Stoll. New acquisition for the Rangers. Signed as a free agent in August.
And you saw him there, Steve, win the draw. You got Dominic Moore and Jarrett Stahl playing on the same line. Both can take faceoffs, and the big reason Jarrett Stahl was added to improve in the circle.
Stahlberg with a chance. Comes right back to him at the circle. That second try got through. Schneider able to get that away, but it's taken now by McDonough. Passes on the shot. Stahlberg with traffic in front. Fired wide. Karam's out of the zone. McDonough couldn't keep it alive, and Schlemko has it for the Devils. David Schlemko works it ahead. Travis Zajac.
Well, we saw a collision as they were changing Stahl and Steven Giunta. He knocked him over, and Kyle Palmieri went to the aid of his teammate there, and I like that. You want to change momentum, you still have to get physical, give the other team space. Don't make it too comfortable of a game, big hit or something, and I like Kyle Palmieri's reaction there.
Nash fires in. Stepan on the far side for the Rangers. Those two on with Matt Zuccarello. Devils take the puck away, and Palmieri gives here to Severson, who fires into the Rangers' end. Henrik Lundqvist reverses course with the puck. Zajac couldn't control it for long, and the Rangers dump it back the other way. You surprised they go right back to Lundqvist? Back-to-back, they've got the Sharks tomorrow night, but it's his net right now.
Yeah, he's played so well. They've lost 2 in a row. That probably had something to do with it. They wanted to make sure they had their number one guy in there, and he's been great, as we talked about, Steve, all season long, even in the 3-0 shutout to Montreal.
He was the second star. Carey Price was the first in that loss at Bell Center. Camilleri fires in for the Devils. Jesper Fast takes a hit from Stempniak in the corner, but the Rangers break out crisply. Kreider to the stick of Derek Brassard. Ex-Blue Jacket works it across. Jesper Fast with a shot that missed the net, picked up here by Girardi. Kreider now for the Rangers. Taken away by New Jersey, and Stempniak to Mike Camilleri. He winds, he shoots, and a save by Lundqvist, who holds on.
Rangers defense get caught there. Dan Girardi gets caught in tight, and Keith Yandle had to come all the way from the left position. Shall I say that was, well, here's the play earlier. Let's take a look. Ryan McDonough and Gianta go at it. Stahl comes over, gives Gianta a little shove. And you didn't see it after, but Kyle Palmieri got right in Stahl's face, standing up for his teammates. And those are the things that can go a long way, the little things that can go a long way as far as building your team and chemistry.
Off the draw, Moore threw one in front. Lundqvist deflected that away. Moore gave it away to the stick of Reed Boucher. Stays with it. That chance deflects off Boyle. 2-2 to Boucher. His pass back to the point, intercepted by the Rangers. They dart back the other way. Stahlberg works the puck across. Gelinas now will take for the Devils. Works it ahead to the stick of Reed Boucher. Under a minute and a half to go. Opening period here. Devils trailing 1-0. Jordan 2-2. Battling with Boyle. Able to take the puck away from the veteran defenseman. Threw it in front with Boucher at the doorstep. Schlemko with a shot. He shanked that as it's taken here and settled by Stahl. Kevin Hayes maneuvers out of his own end for the Rangers, and now Stahl fires in for New York. Final minute, period 1. Schlemko kicking it a loose puck. Hayes centering try for the Rangers. Schlemko there to take that away, but gives it back to New York. They drop it back to the point. Shot by Klein is blocked away, and it deflects out of play. 46 seconds remaining in the period. And Klein.
Here we got a scrap. Kyle Palmieri, and he went right at Kevin Klein, and this is what I'm talking about. Klein's a pretty tough customer. You don't see Kyle do this too often, but obviously he wanted to spark his team. I don't know if something precipitated this battle. Palmieri's hanging in there against a pretty big boy, Kevin Klein. I give full marks to Kyle Palmieri there. I got to tell you, Steve, down 1-0 on their heels. You see he's got a little cut on his nose, and I'm sure that's from the shield coming down, but you see these two guys right here going at it, and Palmieri's taking no back seat. Kevin Klein's done this a little more than Kyle Palmieri. And let's see if this can spark the Devils a little bit. They've been better the last half of this period, had some chances quicker in their puck decisions, but these two guys really go at it. Some punches thrown. And I give full marks to Kyle Palmieri for standing up to a bigger man and maybe trying to spark his hockey club here.
Kevin Klein 6'1", Kyle Palmieri listed at 5'11". 5 for fighting at 19-14. For those of you who want numbers on Danico Domi, 3,515 penalty minutes for Domi, 25-19 for Dano, but you had 3 cups and he's still waiting for his first.
So if my math is correct, that's 6,000 penalty minutes between us. Ooh.
Well, but who's counting?
Game
Here's
was
Nash.
different.
Back the other way, works it across, taken off the board by Stepan, and that chance deflected away. Here's Toulouse getting on the loose puck for the Devils with 20 seconds to play. Kicked into the zone by Gianta.
You know, Steve, some people will say you don't want to see Kyle Palmieri, one of your best offensive players, doing that kind of thing, but I know the reason behind it, and his teammates will have a lot of respect for him going back into that locker room after the first period.
Final seconds of period 1. Hayes back in his own end. Rangers will take a 1-0 lead to the first intermission. Kyle Palmieri, that was his 4th National Hockey League fight, his first as a Devil. Deb and Johnny Mack straight ahead at the Garden when we continue.
The New Jersey Devils Intermission Report is presented by the New Jersey Lottery. Remember, anything can happen in Jersey.
it's free to play. And if you have a chance to win great prizes like Devils tickets, gift cards, and more, why not take advantage? Play all season long at NewJerseyDevils.com/bingo. And remember, with the New Jersey Lottery, anything can happen in New Jersey. General manager of the New Jersey Devils, of course, is Ray Shero. Well, there's a Shero connection to the Ranger franchise, of course, and that deals with his dad, Fred Shero, the legendary coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. But as a player, he was a defenseman for the New York Rangers. That was back in 1947. Played in a Stanley Cup final with the Rangers, losing to the Detroit Red Wings in 49-50. And then he came back as head coach of this franchise years later. Stanley Cup finalist in 1979, losing in the final to the Montreal Canadiens in 5. The Lester Patrick Trophy Award recipient in 1980 for service to hockey in the United States. Freddie the Fog Shero, he's synonymous with the Philadelphia Flyers, but there was that time, and a special time in this building. His son Ray, now the GM of the New Jersey Devils, was a collegiate player at St. Lawrence at about the time Shero was leading the Rangers to a Stanley Cup final as a coach. And Ray was drafted by the LA Kings in 1982, never played in the National Hockey League.
Ray's really followed in his father's footsteps, even though Fred was a Hall of Fame coach and 2 Stanley Cup championships for the Philadelphia Flyers, and also sat in this seat, I believe, briefly as a color commentator for the New Jersey Devils on the radio.
He did.
If I'm not mistaken.
Back in the day, he did that.
First year of existence for the Devils, but obviously that shows you a pretty strong hockey family and hockey minds in the Shero household growing up.
Late great Fred Shero, 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Philadelphia Flyers. Well, his son's team is looking for its first victory. Only one other time have the Devils gone winless in their first 5, and that was just 2 years ago when they started the season 0-4-3. Their last win at Madison Square Garden was December 7th of 2013. That was a 4-3 overtime victory with Eric Jelena scoring the game-winning goal that night. Now the Devils look to battle back here from behind after conceding the first goal today. Today's Devils telecast is part of the Tri-State Challenge. It's presented by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Underway to start period 2 as Ryan McDonough off the face-off has this for the Rangers. Shots on goal 9-6 in favor of New York through the opening 20 minutes. Andy Green works it ahead. Adam Henrique banks it off the near boards as it's come back to Green once again.
Devils very slow to come out of the gate the first 10 minutes of the first period, Steve. Too many turnovers and bad puck decisions, hanging on a little long. Rangers were a step quicker, great anticipation. Much better second half of that period for the Devils. They're hoping to carry it off here early in the second.
Cavallari winds it around to the stick of Andy Green, who's deep into the Ranger end. Henrique tries to come out of the corner with it, controls off the skate, then the stick, but the puck taken now by Nash, and he guides it across to Matt Zuccarello. Schneider leads behind his goal for Andy Green. Green punches it ahead. Here's Travis Zajac across to Tulowitzki. Soft shot is sticked aside by Lundqvist. Back the other way come the Rangers. That pass off the back of Derek Brassard, who spins around. Now the loose puck taken here by Zajac, who darts back the other way. He'll dump in. Giving chase is Tulowitzki. Those two on with Jordan Tutu. Early in period number 2, Jelena tries to funnel it back in deep, but it deflects out of play. Well, you saw Matt Zuccarello on that last shift. He says he is good as new after missing the last 2 rounds of the Rangers playoff run with a skull fracture. And this is impressive, Dano, coming back from that layoff and a very serious injury. 3 goals in his first 5 games.
He had a real good preseason as well. Pretty scary injury to be coming off of. And the Rangers missed him the last 2 rounds of the playoffs last year. Just his grit, his character, not only his skill level. That's something when you go deeper in the playoffs, really tough to replace.
Motoring into the Rangers' end is Josephson. And it comes all the way back where Jelena will give chase. J.T. Miller bearing down on him. And it's an icing call. Face off all the way back into the Rangers' end of the ice. Adam Henrique, John Hines was calling him a difference maker after the game on Friday night. We featured him at the top, and that was nice to hear. Henrique wasn't happy with his first 3 games of the season at all. He does have 2 of New Jersey's first 6 goals. Is he a center or a winger, Dano? We've seen him now in the middle the last few games.
I think I probably prefer him in the middle. I think he's capable of both. There's no doubt about it, depending on how the Devils are going, and John Hines still trying to find the right combinations. But Stempniak, Camilleri, and Henrique in the middle was pretty good last game. Created some offense. Still need to capitalize a little bit more, so he sticks with them.
Here's Henrique off the dish from Camilleri. Threw it in front. Saved by Lundqvist. The Devils jamming at it in front, and they score! Stempniak was at the doorstep. The game is tied at 1.
I think this is Adam Henrique, the guy we were just talking about. He's starting to feel it now. He goes to the net hard after his initial shot from the left side. And Adam Henrique pokes that puck in as that goaltender Henrik Lundqvist for the Rangers is unable to corral it. Let's take a look at it right here, Steve. Good stand up at the blue line. This is where it starts from Damon Severson. Devils transition quickly, and Adam Henrique just takes the shot. You see right here as the defenseman goes down, and Stempniak does a good job keeping that puck alive, digging at the puck, so Henrik Lundqvist cannot cover it up. Devils tie this game up, and Adam Henrique is that guy we talked about, Steve. Has to be a catalyst for this team, and he did it late last game against the Sharks and gets the Devils going in this one against the Rangers.
His career high, 25 goals back in 2013-14. This is a nice start now for Henrique on a team that generally has struggled to score 3 goals in his opening 5 games, and still some 2 periods to play in Game 5. Devils have tied it. Schneider winds it around off the stick of Tutu, and now Stahl fires it back the other way. Victor Stahlberg with a shot that deflects wide of Schneider's cage. Rangers stay with this. Battling for the puck is Dan Boyle and Dominic Moore. Taken by New York, controlled here by the defenseman Boyle. Checked into the corner by Damon Severson. He and Schlemko, the defensive pairing on for New Jersey here. McDonough trying to reach out and hold the zone. He could not.
Now that goal all started by we saw quickly. Damon Severson standing up just outside the Rangers' blue line, not letting them transition through the neutral zone with speed. He pokes the puck away, creating a turnover, and that's when Camilleri and Henrique picked it up and were able to get the puck to the net.
The intercept by Mateau. His shot went off the outside of the post. Picked up here by New Jersey and taken by Boucher. Devils warming to the task here as Larson's wrist shot is stopped by Lundqvist. Rebound loose in front. Oh, it got by Mateau. The puck was loose at the doorstep.
Mateau was a little more alert. That puck ended up squeezing through his feet, but if he had to stick on the ice, he had an open net there.
Josephson, after the takeaway from Boucher, sends deep into the Rangers' end. Here's McDonough on the puck. Under pressure, now winding and firing Stempniak as it went wide. Taken here by Green. Sent into the corner, picked up by Stempniak. Tries to come out in front with it. Poked away by the Rangers and skated away by Nash. Adam Henrique, 3rd goal of the year. The assist to Camilleri and Severson, and that's just the 2nd goal the Devils have scored this season, 5-on-5. Stempniak looking for the takeaway, slowed up just enough by Girardi. Now Kreider winds it around. John Moore sends it back in deep, taken behind the net. Here's Stempniak, centering try. He was looking for more, got by him. Henrique with a shot wide, off the backboard, a chance for Stempniak. Devils now with the Rangers pinned in a bit, and it's taken now by Kreider, who skates it away. Chris Kreider motors into the Devils' end. Ex-teammate John Moore there to defend him, and now gets some help from Henrique. Chelina behind the net. Sees the puck taken away. Jesper Fast. For Brassard, and now behind the net, Kreider. Boyle for the Rangers. Has it on the backhand and sends it back in deep. Puck comes out to the circle. Taken here, Keith Yandel settles it down for the Rangers. Cross-ice pass. Here's Fast. Guides it back to the point. Boyle fakes a shot. Gives here to Yandel. Fans are yelling shoot. Rangers, though, play it off the stick of Chelina. And Keith Yandel sees the puck taken away by Steven Giunta. Puts the brakes on and waits for some reinforcements. Here they come in the form of Tutu. Severson able to hold the zone. Sends it behind net. Kalinic Sealed off by Fost. Undeterred, though. Plays it back towards the point. Here's Damon Severson. His shot, it got through. Went off a skate in front. Picked up here by Larson. Check that Talusti in the corner. Yuri Talusti battling. Gets some help here from Kalinin. Best surge of the game for the Devils following their game-tying goal. And now Boucher back in his own end.
Pretty good action in both ends of the rink.
Talusti able to shake loose of Yandel. Threw one in front. The one-timer goes wide of the net. That was Severson coming in. And now the Rangers back the other way. A 2-on-1 if they hurry, but Schlemko gets a stick on the pass to break it up. Taken back by New York. Hayes tries to cut in front with it, and he shoots the puck wide of the net with Schneider trapped out. Picked up here by Girardi. Redirected in front by Miller, but it went wide. Now Hayes with a chance. Off a body in front. Karam's around, and Stahl sends it back in deep. Schlemko knocked his man down. That was Hayes. Fans wanted a penalty, but we play on, and the Devils dart back the other way as Talusti dumps
Boy,
in.
a lot of action going on here. Devils again. Just a little too lackadaisical with the puck in the neutral zone. Rangers get a real good chance, but the Devils before that, prior to that, had the Rangers on their heels, moving the puck well, getting chances.
Zajac into the Rangers' end. Backhands one on Lundqvist, who settles the puck, and we get a stoppage in play. 1-1. Devils have tied it.
Our $1 Million Replay is brought to you by the New Jersey Lottery. Remember, anything can happen in Jersey. It's the tying goal for the Devils. Real nice stand up there. Poke check from Damon Severson. Camilleri picks the puck up, gets it over to Henrique. He shoots it toward the net. Everybody involved in that line, and Adam Henrique stays with it. Lundqvist can't cover up the puck. Give Lee Stempniak a lot of credit as well as he pokes away at that puck, making sure Lundqvist doesn't get all of it and cover it up. And that's your $1 Million Replay, the tying goal for the Devils from Adam Henrique. 1-1 Devils Rangers.
It took the Rangers 6 minutes 12 seconds to get their first shot of the period, and the Devils now have the shots advantage in the game for the first time at 12-11.
And I will go back late in the first period. I know people say it's not as shouldn't be in the game or as big a part of the game, and it's not. And I like the way the game has gone as far as the fisticuffs, but Kyle Palmieri, and a likely guy, wanted to spark his team and had that scrap with Kevin Klein, and I think it's worked. It's helped them wake up a little bit here.
John Moore seemed to appreciate it in his interview with Deb Placey in the first intermission. Here's Stempniak, works it across. Green sends it ahead for Camilleri. 1-1 game, first matinee of this season for the New Jersey Devils. Didn't have one of those last year. Picked up by Stempniak, and now guided back by Moore. Comes here to the stick of Adam Larson. Off Henrique's stick, now Girardi tries to send it back the other way. Pass by Larson, picked off. Here come the Rangers in transition. Backhand try by Zuccarello, and that puck is out of play. Off the Devils, and the faceoff stays in the Jersey end.
First off, Devils have to be careful on those passes in the neutral zone. Too many turnovers. Rangers such a quick transition team. Speaking of the Rangers, Derek Brassard, boy, has he found himself a home in here in New York, hasn't he, Steve? 60 points last season. Been a real good playoff performer for them. When he was up and down, a high draft pick in Columbus, never really found his way. It's amazing, a change of scenery, what it can do for you. You get a different opportunity, and he's really taken advantage of become, if not a star player, top player in the national, one of the top players in the National Hockey League from an offensive standpoint. And you didn't see that development growing in Columbus when he was drafted, I believe 6th overall, if I'm not mistaken, in that range.
You are correct. Fans wondered, too, about the return because that was part of the Marian Gaborik trade that the Rangers made. Taken here by Jelena, picked up by New Jersey, and dropped back to John Moore. Just under 12 minutes remaining. Second period at the Garden. 1-1 in the first meeting this season between the Hudson River rivals. Zajac drops it back to Larson, who sends it in deep. Loose behind the net, Reed Boucher. Battling with Zajac. Rangers scored it free, and back the other way they come. Zuccarello is on the puck. He's got Nash heading for the net. Shot by Klein is saved by Schneider. Palmieri tries to feather it out of the zone, and now the Rangers skate it back out to center. Boyle punches it ahead. Here's Jesper Fast trying to turn with it. Josephson trying to stay with him. Loose behind the net. Kreider has the puck for New York. Guides it back to the point. Stahl under pressure. Opts to send it behind the net. Devils wind it around. Boucher. Backhand pass into the slot, taken away by the Devils, and now Larson sends fellow Swede Jacob Josephson on his way. Converged on by a couple of Rangers, and now scooting in to help Boucher. Puck comes out of the corner, battling for it. Josephson, taken here by Brassard, has it for the Rangers, and he'll dump in. Kreider to the circle. Pad save by Corey Schneider. Taken by Boucher. Can't get it out of the zone. Yandel winds and fires off the backboard. Puck winds around, and it comes back here. Yandel sends it back in. Miller punches it back towards the point. Yandel passes on the shot, opts to send it in deep. Rangers now answering back with a surge of their own. Girardi's shot off a body in front and swept away by New Jersey. And banked out of the zone by Severson.
Finally, the Devils able to clear the zone, and they get that opportunity when the Rangers are buzzing. You can't play around, just bang it off the wall. Sometimes guys don't want to do that, Steve. They want to make the perfect play, and Devils got caught a couple of times by not clearing the puck out of the zone. There, Severson just goes high off the glass.
Rangers break out once again. Pass across. Hayes met at the line by Jelena. Lays it across, and now fired in by Ryan McDonough. Schneider leaves behind his goal for Jelena. Here's Moore behind his net. Better than halfway through period 2 of a 1-1 game. Kept alive by the Rangers. McDonough under pressure from a couple of Devils. Matteau, and the Devils try to spring Kalinin, but the pass got by him, and it's an icing call against New Jersey. Well, and then there were 3. The Devils don't want to be part of this list a few hours from now. 3 winless teams in the National Hockey League. The New Jersey Devils, Columbus Blue Jackets, and Anaheim. And what is just alarming in Columbus is not necessarily all the losses. And obviously, they're looking for their first win. Their goal differential is -17 already to start the season, and there might be changes brewing. It's a feeling around the NHL.
Such high expectations, a healthy team, adding Brandon Saad as well, and they've given up 31 goals in 6 games in their 0-6 start, Steve. Still early.
Nash looking for a lane to shoot. He fired it wide. Picked up off the backboard by Matteau, who lifts it away. Rick Nash still looking for his first goal of the season. As we told you earlier, longest drought to start a season for Rick Nash. Former Rocket Richard Trophy winner. Zuccarello tries to throw it in front for Nash. Picked up behind the net. Zuccarello controls for the Rangers. Matt Zuccarello continues on. Good backhand pass for Girardi. Threw it across the crease. This caroms around, and it's picked up here by Stempniak. Nice move to get around Zuccarello, and now Yandel takes in the corner. All the way back into the Devils' end. Green and Larson. Back for New Jersey. Icing is waved off as it's played here by Adam Larson. Jarrett Stoll guides it back, and now Girardi on the puck for New York. McDonough banks a pass ahead. Worked across. Stallberg comes out of the corner with it. Shoots from long range, and that's sticked aside by Corey Schneider.
Oh, nifty little move from Stempniak in his own end. And then he feeds Adam Larson out of the corner. He eluded a hit from Victor Stallberg. Did a nice job as the Devils have been getting hemmed in here the last few minutes from the Rangers in their defensive zone here. And real nice escapability from Lee Stempniak.
Here's Stallberg back the other way for the Rangers. Off-wing shot deflects off Schlemko. Taken by Palmieri, and the Devils skated away. Pass by Severson off the stick of Talusti. Lundqvist comes out, try to work it out of harm's way, but Talusti there to take the puck back for the Devils. Zajac tracks it down in the corner. Here's Travis Zajac back in the lineup today after missing the previous outing against San Jose. Back come the Rangers. Stallberg looks at his options. Return pass, and a big save made by Corey Schneider. Played back to the point. Mark Stahl across to Kreider, who has it for the Rangers and plays it in deep. Now Brassard comes out from behind the net, settles now on the far board, drops it back to Boyle. His shot, save made by Schneider, rebound loose, picked up by Palmieri, and the Devils punch it to center.
Well, that's where the Rangers are most dangerous. One of the better teams in the National Hockey League at cycling, moving the puck crisply and quick, one-timing passes, and they've hem the Devils in. Devils finally able to clear, but they stay in pretty good position.
Fast across, opportunity here, and a backhand try of Schneider. And the Devils deny that chance. Snuffed out, but picking it up again is Hayes. Another shot saved by Schneider. Rebound loose, and it's cleared away by Boucher. Great chance for the Rangers. Snuffed out by New Jersey, and Corey Schneider winds around for Boyle. Behind the net, taken here by Foss. Tried to put it on his backhand. Never got a shot away.
Good poke check, Erik Jellin. A quick reaction around the net. Foss was going to come right out in front, and Erik Jellin a good job with his stick.
Now Moore winds it around for 2-2, and Devils get it back the other way. Rangers have the last 6 shots in the game. Under 6 minutes to go. Second period, Miller's pass off a stick, stays in play, and now Hayes tries to bank it for JT Miller, skated away by Boucher, and now the Devils come back the other way. He'll dump in, Devils complete the change.
Devils got to start getting pucks in and spending some time in the Rangers zone. You mentioned the Rangers' last 6 shots, and they've had the Devils hemmed in their own end on the last 3 or 4 shifts. For about a 5-minute span, but Corey Schneider with some spectacular saves.
Henrique loads the gun for Camilleri, and a save made by Lundqvist. Here's Larson with Stepan bearing down on him. Rangers take it away, punch it across in the direction of Zuccarello. He won't get on that. Green sends it back out to center. Here's Henrique at center ice. Into the Rangers' end. Stempniak delivers a hit on Girardi, but the puck taken by McDonough and the Rangers. Severson back. It's icing against New York with 4:48 to go in the middle period.
I think that's what the Devils needed. The Rangers finally iced the puck. Face off in the Rangers' end to the left to Henrik Lundqvist. As Devils have bent but not broke quite just yet, Steve. Still 1-1 in this game. And Corey Schneider made 2-3 spectacular saves to keep this game knotted.
Off the draw, Schlemko played back for Severson, and that shot off a body in front. It's off the Rangers. The face-off will stay in the New York end when we come back at the Garden.
Stay with us for the Chevrolet intermission report. As soon as the second period is over, Johnny Mack will be with us. John McClain, no whistles here. It's been quick.
No whistles. It's been back and forth hockey so far. And, you know, a tale of 2 periods. First period, the Rangers. Second period, Devils. Rangers coming on a little bit, but we're back a 1-1 hockey game. And so we'll see what happens in the third.
All right, Steve.
Deb, Johnny Mack.
I can hear you, Don.
Thank you. 4:42 left here in the second period of play. Don't forget Stan Fischler coming up with NHL news and notes between periods as well. Devils trying to crack the win column. Severson, stick failed him, didn't get enough on the shot. Deep in the Rangers zone, Tulosti and Palmieri. His sharp angle shot off the side of the net, taken by Schlemko. And guided back, Palmieri's shot got through to Lundqvist. He made the save, and it's swept aside by New York.
Handcuffed Henrik Lundqvist a little bit. Sneaky shot by Kyle Palmieri there as he toe dragged that puck and got it off.
Kyle Palmieri controls with the glove, settles it down for the Devils. Another chance that got through, and Lundqvist makes the stick save. Back come the Rangers the other way. Cross-ice pass in the direction of Jesper Foss. Too far for him. Moore delivers the hit on Foss, and the puck taken away by Zajac. It's an area where the Devils missed Travis Zajac the other night face-offs. They won 27, lost 37 without him in the lineup. He is their best at that function. Picked up here by the Rangers. Moore behind the net for Kreider. Comes all the way back to the point, and we get a stoppage in play. It's our first penalty of the afternoon, an interference call. And we'll set up a Devils power play when we come back.
By the new Buick. Buick, your kind of luxury. Rangers have the Devils under siege here, and John Moore with the diving play to force Hayes from getting a clean opportunity there as he pokes the puck away, but Rangers continue. Hayes, good shot there. Corey Schneider scored the puck. Then he makes the save on Foss on the backhanded rebound. And the Devils still unable to clear. That's the danger area for them. When you get that puck on your stick, you've got to get it out with the Rangers very good down low at cycling and keeping you under pressure. Corey Schneider makes a couple of real nice RoboCam saves.
First power play of the game for either team goes to the Devils. Interference call against Stallberg at 16:24. Adam Henrique, Jordan Tutu deep in the zone. Jacob Josephson is the other forward. Rangers, though, able to take this away. Devils have scored a power play goal in each of the previous 4 games this season. Collected by Josephson and played back to Palmieri. Josephson at center ice into the Rangers zone. Sends it in deep. 2-2. Controlled by the skate of Henrique. They drop it back to the point. Palmieri under pressure sees the puck. Jarred loose, and it's taken at center by David Severson.
Just tried to spin away from the youngster Oscar Lindberg, and not only does he lead the Rangers with 4 goals, he's an integral part of their penalty kill, Steve.
Picked up here by Severson. Rangers have allowed 4 power play goals, 21 opportunities coming into this chance by the Devils. Not much brewing yet for New Jersey as the Rangers clear it away. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Victor Stallberg. Jelena.
It's not always going to be perfect, as we saw the other night against the Sharks, but the Devils' power play has been pretty effective so far this season.
Knocked off the stick of Zajac. Skated away here by the Rangers. Here's Rick Nash on the penalty kill. Into the Devils zone. Has to contend with Camilleri. Now Stepan is over to help. Rick Nash sees the puck taken away by Jelena. 2 Rangers are in deep, but the Devils pinned in right now as Jelena banks it to Camilleri. And not much brewing here as the Devils send it in deep. Klein tries to wind it out of the zone, but the pass picked off by Stempniak. Shot by Josephson on the one-timer. Didn't get enough on it. Goes wide of the net. Here's Josephson in the corner for the Devils. Final seconds of the penalty to Stallberg. Jelena's shot blocked away. Out of the box is Stallberg as the puck comes out to center. And Stempniak controls with the teams back to 5-on-5. Just a minute 20 to go. Second period of play. Boucher snatches this puck at the Ranger line. Broken up by New York. Back the other way they come. Over the line, they send it across for Brassard. His shot eaten up by Adam Larson. Puck jarred loose, taken away, and punched ahead to Boucher. He'll send Jordan Tutu on his way. Dumps in, and Boucher will get chase. Tutu, first man in deep. On the puck for New Jersey. Now Boucher able to get it back to the point. Andy Green lost control and now has to retreat. Final minute, period 2. Gianta picks up Palmieri, lifts it into the Rangers' end and gives chase. Converging on Boyle in the corner. Now gets some help from Steven Gianta to the circle. Camilleri for John Moore. Back in the corner. Camilleri tried to throw one in front. This deflects in front, trying to find the handle and put it on his forehand was Palmieri. We get the whistle and a little bit more after that.
Well, first sustained pressure in the last 8 minutes, 5-on-5. Now we're seeing a scrum in front of Lundqvist. Kreider and Camilleri grab hold of each other as things get a little heated up. And Devils do a good job moving the puck around and getting a shot on Lundqvist, and they dig for the rebound. That's when the scrum evolved. We'll look right here. Steven Gianta, just a little chip backhand toward the net. Kyle Palmieri right in front where he should be. Just prior to that, Devils really didn't get anything going on the power play. Good job of the Rangers as they pursued the puck, never letting the Devils get set up. But nice shift following that power play attempt for the Devils, and we're tied at 1. The Devils want to get out of this period tied and giving themselves an opportunity here with 20 minutes to go, Steve.
26.7 seconds remaining here in the second period of play. Off the draw, Henrique, they drop it back. Moore's shot blocked by Dominic Moore and taken here by Green. Chipped into the zone by Palmieri. Picked up in the corner. McDonough collides with one of the officials. Puck is still loose, trying to get on the puck here with 8 seconds to go as Palmieri. And there's a penalty coming up.
Well, this is a penalty drawn by Cal Palmieri. The work, great effort as he originally knocks Ryan McDonough off the puck on the forecheck, creating a turnover, keeps his feet moving. And then Jarrett Stahl pulls him down as he comes around the net here. But this is all created, this penalty. from the hard work and determination from Kyle Palmieri.
With 5.7 seconds remaining in the period. Jarrett Stoll called for the trip. Devils power play 0 for 1. They win the draw back out to center. But the Devils will go into period 2 with a clean sheet of ice and a minute 55 of power play time in their efforts to take a lead for the first time this season. It's 1-1 after 2 in this matinee at Madison Square Garden. The Chevy second intermission report straight ahead. Devils take on the Islanders with a special 1 p.m. start time. All kids 14 and under receive a special Devils drawstring pumpkin bag to trick-or-treat inside the arena that day. A limited number of $31 tickets, as well as special family packs, which include a special meet and greet with mascot NJ Devil, are on sale now at NewJerseyDevils.com/Halloween. Third period is set to begin here at Madison Square Garden. Today's Devils telecast is part of the Tri-State Challenge presented by Chevrolet. Find new roads. 1:55 left on a tripping call against Jarrett Stoll. 1:55 left in a Devils power play to start this third period. A very important 1:55. Big third period for the Devils, looking for their first win.
It really is, Steve. They put themselves in position to get a victory here on the power play. Clean, fresh ice to start the third period. And they had time to talk about it, what they want to do. Now it's go out and execute a good opportunity and hopefully get the lead here early in the third.
Off the draw, 4 forwards on the ice for the Devils to start the period. The lone defenseman is Damon Severson. Rangers break up the initial entry into the zone, but now 2-2 will fire in. Lundqvist has it in the trapezoid, leaves it for Klein, and this puck is out of play. Let's see if it was deflected or not. Doesn't appear to be so.
Here we go again, Steve. Devils are going to have a 5-on-3 delay a game as Klein with the backhand fires this puck up and over the glass. We saw this against the Sharks, where the Devils had 2 5-on-3 man advantages. Unable to capitalize. They finally did late in the 5-on-4 in that game, but now here we go. Minute 36, 5-on-3 Devils.
Delay of game call against Kevin Klein. Henrique to take the draw. Jelena and Severson are the point men now for the Devils. Off the draw, it's won by the Rangers. Skated away, and McDonough sends this the length of the ice.
Well, that's not the way you want to start it off. Lose the face-off clean. You just got to tie the centerman up and hope to get some help with the 2-man advantage from your wingers.
Jelena's pass broken up by Dominic Moore, deflects to Palmieri, and now Jelena takes it, and the Devils set up with the 2-man advantage. Severson across for Jelena. Those two play catch. It's Henrique, the man in front, sent down low. Camilleri drops it back to the point for Severson. Here's Mike Camilleri. Threw it across, got by Palmieri. Back to the point where it's controlled by Jelena. The return pass from Severson. Played down low. Palmieri couldn't control the initial pass cleanly. Gives it to Adam Henrique. Henrique, backhand pass. Drops it back to the point. At the side of the net, Palmieri. Back to Severson. Jelena's shot deflected off a stick. Into the corner. Jesper Fast clears it away.
The Devils were too methodical in their puck movement there and telegraphing their pass. Is 5-on-3. Really didn't get a range out of position. Dominic Moore blocked that one-timer from Eric Jelena.
Here's Severson across for Jelena. Eric Jelena this time fakes the shot. Drops it back for Severson. Devils have it all on the perimeter here. Camilleri at the circle. Threw it across. Severson gives here and gets it back from Stempniak. Taken here. The pass across for Jelena. Not nearly enough on it. Taken away by Stepan, who sends it into the Devils' end. Out of the box is Stoll, and it's now a 5-on-4 Devils power play.
Devils having a real tough time in the 5-on-3 and really unable to get anything going. Just not a quick enough puck movement. I think they needed more shots there, Steve.
Here's John Moore at the point. Tries to shovel it in deep. Comes back to Moore. He's bothered by Stepan, who sends it out to center. Standing up is Klein. He's out of the box. That's a big penalty kill for the Rangers, and no shots on the Devils power play.
I have to be honest, I don't think it was so much what the New York Rangers did from a defensive standpoint. It was the Devils' execution, and puck movement just wasn't quick enough, and nobody shooting the puck. You got two big shots on the point. Severson and Jelena move it a couple times, let it rip.
Now Green deep in his own end. Moore lifts it away. Zuccarello using that diminutive frame, but just enough to glove it down, and then the Devils send it back towards the Rangers zone. Opening 3 minutes, period 3. Game tied at 1. Devils seeking their first win of this 15-16 season. Adam Larsson works it ahead for New Jersey and sends in deep. Now Tulowitzki bumps with his man, loose at the side of the net, and covering up is Henrik Lundqvist. Let's take this back to the Cadillac trivia question. Lundqvist, his 33 career victories, good for the all-time lead against the Devils. Who is second? I'll go with Marc-Andre Fleury.
I'm going to take a wild stab and say Ron Hextall, the general manager of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Neither one. It's John Van Beesbrook, so a couple of Rangers. And Beesbrook might have gotten a couple with Florida and or the Islanders.
As well as what I mentioned in the early 80s.
Off the draw, punched ahead by Schlemko. Here's Kalinin. Tied up by Kevin Hayes as the puck pops up high. Yandel battling in the corner with Steven Gionta, and the Rangers play it behind the net. Klein sends Lindbergh on his way. Banks that puck by JT Miller, and now Schneider sends into the corner, picked up here by the Devils and skated away. Here's Stefan Matteau. Return pass from Kalinin, broken up, and now Larsson back in his own end. Big chance for the Devils to start this second period. 5-on-3 power play that didn't produce much.
Just too much standing still. Nobody moving their feet and switching positions.
Here's Miller on the move, trying to spin away from Jelena. JT Miller behind the net. Puck jarred loose. They work it back to the point, but that pass gets by Stahl. Taken here by Stempniak. It's a 2-on-1. Takes the shot with Camilleri the option, and it went wide.
Clear cut 2-on-1 from center ice. Mark Stahl, puck bounces by him. He gets caught. And I think Stempniak got caught in between of whether he was going to shoot or pass. Made a late decision to shoot. Don't think he got all of it.
Now Stempniak digging for the puck. Gets it away from Klein. Converged on by Brassard. Lee Stempniak trying to maneuver. Takes it back to the point. Green winds it in deep to the stick of Camilleri. Reverses course with the puck. Brassard takes a hit from Stempniak. Puck winds around, and Larsson will give chase all the way back into his own end. Neither team with a shot on goal yet here in the third.
That includes the 5-3 that you were talking about for the Devils, Steve. And there's Mike Camilleri, the veteran Devil, who they're going to rely on heavily from an offensive standpoint. A goal and 3 assists this season. Leads the team. Last year led the team in goals with 28, and they're going to rely and need Mike Camilleri to get that goal-scoring touch often and early. He's a streaky type scorer, like a lot of real good goal scorers are, and he's starting to mesh very well with that line in Stempniak and Henrique.
Third assist of the year coming on the goal today by Henrique. Josephson to Severson and played back. This is lifted away by Schlemko. Picked up at center ice by the Rangers. Now Nash gives here. Keith Yandel takes a bump from Josephson and continues on. Pass intercepted by Boucher. And back come the Devils the other way. Josephson will dump in. Devils execute the change here.
Well, Keith Yandel tried the fake slap pass, and he actually fanned on it. And Reed Boucher was able to pick that off.
Now Nash streaking down the far side. Save made by Schneider. Back the other way on the long rebound. Zajac works it ahead. Pass gets by Palmieri. Loose puck in the corner. Tulowitzki delivers a big hit in the corner to jar the puck loose. Rangers take it anyway, and they work it across to Rick Nash. Over the line, he's sealed off by Adam Larsson. Larsson, the Devils' leader in ice time so far tonight. Zajac. Pass deflects off his stick. Puck still loose in the Ranger end. Taken by Green. Drops it for Larsson. Trying to tee up a shot. Takes a bump in the corner from Zuccarello. Larsson continues on behind the Ranger net. Tries to reverse course with Stahl there. Puck pops up high at the side of the net. Controlled by the Rangers, but Zajac able to take it back.
Good job by Adam Larsson getting in deep, and before that in his other end sealed off Rick Nash with a solid hit. And Kyle Palmieri behind the play was jarring with Matt Zuccarello. He's played a very feisty, physical type game this afternoon, and that's Kyle Palmieri.
Jelena sees the puck taken away by Stahlberg. Work behind the goal. Moore keeps the puck moving. Taken by Matteau. Stefan Matteau. Second game at Madison Square Garden. This is fired in by Jelena. Gianta on the near boards. Can't control it cleanly. Taken here by Dominic Moore. Tries the long pass in the direction of Kevin Hayes. Got by him. Icing's waved off. It's picked up here by Sergei Kalinin. Back the other way come the Devils on a 3-on-3. Kalinin tries to beat his man Girardi. Broken up by the Rangers. Drops for Gianta, and his shot is off the glass behind Lundqvist. And the face-off will be in the Rangers zone when we come back. 12:38 to go in the third.
The keys to the game are brought to you by GMC. See the pros nearest you to test drive one of their award-winning trucks, crossovers, or SUVs today. GMC, we are professional grade. And here's the opening goal of the game. Nice pass from Oscar Lindberg. Derek Stepan with the nifty little backhand 5-hole. Gives the Rangers a 1-0 lead. The Devils answer in the second. David Severson, nice poke check. Camilleri picks it up. Adam Henrique takes the shot, follows up his shot, and is able to poke in the rebound. And we're all knotted at one, and those are your GMC keys to the game.
And the quest for victory one continues for New Jersey. On Adam Henrique's third of the season, it was the coaching staff who issued him a challenge on Friday to step up his game. And on Friday against San Jose, played his best game of the young season. Has the Devils' goal this afternoon. Off the face-off, won by the Rangers and controlled by their captain Ryan McDonagh. Punched across, Lindberg for New York. Sends it behind goal. Lindberg crashing into the corner, converges with Schlemko. Puck jarred loose, picked up here by Mike Camilleri. Cross-ice pass in the direction of Henrique. Adam Henrique sealed off with the puck taken here by Kyle Palmieri for New Jersey. 1-1 game here. 8 minutes elapsed in period number 3. Dumped into the corner by Severson. Palmieri with the give to Camilleri. Knocked off his stick, and the Devils have to retreat. Severson plays this back for Schlemko. Shots are 18-17 in favor of the Rangers. Worked across. There's Zajac firing. That's the Devils' first shot of the third period with 11:44 to go in the third. Corey Schneider is no stranger to Alain Vigneault. They shared 5 seasons together with the Vancouver Canucks. Some of the highlights, his NHL debut in 08-09. Look at the goals against average in 2011-2012, under 2. And in the lockout-shortened season of 2012-2013, Vigneault's Canucks saw Schneider lead the National Hockey League with 5 shutouts that year. Off the draw, this is taken by the Rangers. Here's Kreider motoring in. Shot deflected off Jelena's stick, goes wide. Girardi sends it in deep. Picked up by Brassard. Loose in front, that popped up in front of Schneider, and the Rangers just missed a chance to take the lead. Jelena banks it out to center, and Stempniak now sees the puck jarred loose by Fost. Jesper Fost works it across. Shot from the far side, blocked away by John Moore. Comes loose. Zajac punches it off the near boards and works it across for the Devils. Bouncing puck picked up by Talusti. Stempniak will be the first man in deep. Rangers work it across. Girardi is on the puck. Lays it across, and now Keith Yandle, the ex-Arizona Coyote. Pass across, gets by everyone. Loose behind the Devils' net. Battling for it, John Moore. Larson is there with him as well. Deflects into the corner. Nash to the circle. Quick shot, and Corey Schneider makes the glove save on Matt Zuccarello. Lexus brings us a look at the Devils' upcoming schedule. We're back home Tuesday night. Our first look at the Coyotes this year, 7 o'clock on MSG. And then the Devils hit the road for the next 2. At Ottawa Thursday, at the Buffalo Sabres. Jack Eichel off to the impressive start. Saturday, 7 o'clock. Game night starts our coverage half an hour prior to each telecast.
We just saw the Rangers buzzing again in the Devils zone. Corey Schneider with a glove hand save on Matt Zuccarello. The Devils don't want to spend time in their end. I mentioned it before, Steve, earlier in this game. If you're in trouble, get it off the glass and out. His team moves the puck in cycles very well.
Centering try for Nash. That shot is blocked away in front. Off the stick of Derek Stepan. Now Stepan gloves this down. Deep in the Devils zone. Nash is checked by Henrique. Big Rick Nash plays it behind the net. Here's Stepan behind Schneider's goal. Able to play this back. That shot shanked by McDonough. Collected by the Rangers in the corner again.
Devils don't have a stick. Mike Camilleri gave his to Andy Green, who lost it in the left corner. There now Mike Camilleri gets one from the bench.
Deflected off that errant stick, and now Green works it across, and here's Mike Camilleri with the fresh stick. Able to take this, put the brakes on, and backhands it in deep for Palmieri. Tied up by Stepan. Camilleri digging for the loose puck. Devils win it back. Severson plays it across. Schlemko fires intentionally off the backboard, loose behind the Rangers' end. Taken here by Stepan. Can't clear the zone. Schlemko there to hold the zone momentarily, and now the Rangers, with Klein, send it back the other way. Dominic Moore slowed up by Severson. Continues on. Lost control of the puck, and it's collected by Tutu. 9.5 to go. Third period. 1-1 game. 2-2 for the Devils. Bumps with Stahl. And Jordan Tutu sent sprawling to the ice. Dan Boyle hitting the corner. Things take a physical turn now. Stallberg trying to get the Rangers out of the zone. He could not. Tutu tying up his man in front of the Rangers bench, and we get a stoppage, and a penalty is coming up. Let's see how they sort this out. A high sticking call, and the Ranger power play to go to work for the first time.
Things getting physical here in the third period. Big collision. Mark Stahl and Jordan Tutu go sprawling to the ice as they battle in the corner. Then shortly after, right here, Jordan Tutu keeps the puck in. Then he gets his stick up high on Jarrett Stahl there. Devils go to the penalty box for the first time as far as a 2-minute penalty, a minor penalty, so they're at a disadvantage, Steve. They've been very disciplined the entire hockey game. Now they're short and have to kill this one in a 1-1 hockey game.
Their power play, which has struggled for the longest time, has picked up in that same manner this season. 1 for 14, the Ranger power play to start the year. Big penalty kill here for the Devils in a tie game. Sent in deep, Adam Larson. Andy Green, the defense tandem for the Devils. Zajac and Henrique are the forwards on the kill. Yandel able to guide it back to the point. Boyle fakes a shot and gives it back to Keith Yandel as the Rangers set up. Zuccarello to the point, shot by Yandel, save made by Schneider, and he holds on. Let's take a look at the Tri-State Challenge presented by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Devils and Rangers today. Devils Islanders Halloween afternoon, 1 o'clock on MSG. Join us for that. Visa Devils game night to start our coverage at 12:30 that day.
Corey Schneider gobbles up a Keith Yandel one-timer with Rick Nash right in his kitchen there.
Miller to take the draw against Jacob Josephson. He and Stempniak come on to continue the kill. Rangers win the faceoff. Pass by McDonough. He put it right on Larson's stick, and he clears.
Well, good pursuit by Jacob Josephson, forcing McDonough to make a decision with the puck, and he had nowhere to go. Passed it right to Adam Larson.
Miller punches it ahead for Kreider. Puts the brakes on, guides it back. That pass off the mark. Now Stempniak will take the loose puck for the Devils with McDonough, the lone defenseman, back. Shot by Stempniak, and Lundqvist makes the big pad save.
Lee Stempniak continues to provide energy, speed, makes a nifty little move, short-handed. Henrik Lundqvist had to make a big save there.
Punched in by Brassard. Puck winds around to the stick of Kreider. Sent back in deep, intercepted by New Jersey, and Schlemko sends it the length of the ice.
So far, so good for the Devils. PK, good read, good support. See John Moore comes, picks up the puck as Schlemko was pursuing it in the corner, but he supports him and able to ice that puck.
23 seconds left on the high-sticking penalty to Jordan Tutu. And the face-off just outside the Devils zone.
Lee Stempniak's impressed, hasn't he, Steve? Yeah. I mean, his speed, good decisions with the puck, good puck handling ability, and he made a nifty little move left to right and cut to the middle on Ryan McDonough, short-handed there, and got a pretty good shot away.
He's a Ranger for 53 games last season, too, Dano. Dealt to Winnipeg last year. Taken here by New York. Final 8 seconds of the Ranger power play. Zuccarello trying to gain the zone, but another stoppage in play. 7:07 left in the third, and just 5 seconds left on the penalty to Jordan Tootoo as the Rangers are offside again.
Big kill. Good job from the Devils. Only 5 seconds left. Their first 5-on-4 disadvantage of the hockey game. The high stick to Jordan Tootoo.
Josephson wins the draw. Larson banks it into the Rangers' end. 2-2 out of the box. There was one shot on that Ranger man advantage. All the way out to center. Deflects across to the stick of John Moore. Devils trying to snap a 6-game winless streak in this Hudson River rivalry. Sent in deep by Moore. Knocks the puck away from Lundqvist. Collected here by Stempniak. Able to pick up 2-2. Shot save made by Lundqvist. Long rebound. Firing away from the opposite side. Jelena. And another shot by Tootoo is stopped by Lundqvist. From all angles they're coming at him.
Jordan Tootoo got a lot on that second shot.
Nash knocked down by Stempniak. And it's an interference penalty against New Jersey. They'll go right back on the kill here.
Just after the Devils had 2 glorious opportunities to break this tie. Devils just coming out of the box, Jordan Tootoo, and he stayed on the ice. Here's the interference. Oh boy, that's a little touchy there. Rick Nash went down with just a little push there. You know, in a 1-1 game, I know Devils have had their advantages, and sometimes you've got to lay off completely because referees do look to even it up. Just a subconscious thing, in my opinion. You see it in other games as well.
Stempniak interference at 13:38. Off the faceoff. Zajac for the Devils in the corner. Converged on by 2 Rangers. Now Green over to help out. Rangers jar it loose. They play it back to McDonough. Works it across to the circle on the drive from the far side. Fired wide. Picked up here by Kevin Hayes. Hayes puts one on goal. Schneider gets rid of that. Taken here by Henrique, and he sends it the length of the ice.
Nice job from Adam Larson sealing off big Kevin Hayes, enabling Adam Henrique to pick up that loose puck and fire it down the ice.
Rangers restart. Here's McDonough on the move. Works it ahead, and Hayes fires in. Puck winds around. Hops over the stick of Kreider. Sent behind the net, and Kevin Hayes controls for the Rangers. All 6'5" of Kevin Hayes drops it back to the point. McDonough passes on the shot. They get it to Miller, and a save made by Schneider. Brassard collides with Green, and the puck sent the length of the ice by New Jersey.
That was a hit from behind on Andy Green. He really protected the puck. He was in a vulnerable position. Close to a penalty there from Brassard. And the Rangers focus on this power play. You can see Steve has a couple of passes and get shots. Anytime you're struggling a little bit, you just want to shoot the puck, get opportunities on net, and that's what they've done here as the Devils clear again. Good job, David Schlemko, getting that puck down the ice.
Yandel behind his own net. 28 seconds left in the interference penalty against Stempniak. Shovels it across. Stepan nurses it behind the Devils' net. Taking a swipe at it is Schlemko. Adam Henrique trying to control along the near boards. Puck comes loose. Stepan tries to walk in front. His shot stopped by Schneider. Picked up here by the Devils. Zajac tries to wind it out of the zone. Yandel is able to keep it in for the Rangers. They work it to the opposite side. Firing away. Big block by John Moore, and they clear.
Yeah, definitely, Steve. Absolutely. John Moore sacrifices his body, gets himself in the lane, and blocks a big shot. I think that was Boyle wide open with the blast.
4:10 left. Teams are back to 5-on-5 in a 1-1 game. Stempniak back in his own end for the Devils. Tries to get by Stahl. Nice pass for Giunta. Taken back by the Rangers and worked across to the stick of Mark Stahl. His pass across for Stahlberg. Deflected away, and Green sends it back towards the Rangers' end. Dominic Moore lost his edge. Puck taken away by Josephson for the Devils. Darts back into the Ranger end. Slowed up by Mark Stahl. Moore able to hold the zone. Works it across for Boucher.
That was a dangerous pass right along the blue line. Stahlberg was sneaking in, lurking around, and he didn't intercept that pass because John Moore made it real crisp.
Mark Stahl works it ahead. Here's Dominic Moore for the Rangers. Picked up at center ice, Henrique. Punches it ahead. Here's Boucher trying to beat his man Klein. Henrique on the follow-up, controls. Bumped by Dominic Moore. Boucher able to control the puck, drops it back to the point. Severson plays it across. Now Zelenov feathers the puck in deep. Dominic Moore draped all over Henrique. Under 3 minutes left in the third of a 1-1 game. Devils looking for a breakthrough here. Their first lead and their first win. But back come the Rangers the other way. Severson punched it away. Picked up here by Boucher. Now 2-2. Drops it for Boucher. All down on the play by Foss, but we play on.
Gotta shoot the puck there. Reed Boucher dropped it.
Here's Kreider walking in, shooting, and a stop made by Schneider. Loose at the side of the net. Corey Schneider looked behind him, and we get a stoppage and play.
Corey Schneider's been so alert all game, Steve.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In regulation, ice-sided MSG. The Devils couldn't get anything going 5-on-3, but that's only part of the special team story.
Yeah, special teams, they couldn't get their power play going, but they got their penalty kill going, so we'll see. The intensity's picked up here. I think it's going to be an exciting 3-on-3 if we get there to overtime.
Okay, Steve.
Guys, thank you. It was entertaining stuff on Friday. It did not produce a goal. The Devils lost in a shootout, trying to bounce back here this afternoon. 25 shots for the Rangers, 21 for New Jersey. Off the faceoff, controlled by Palmieri. Hacked at by McDonough, who takes possession for New York, and the Ranger captain works it ahead. Klein, cross-ice pass, picks up Zuccarello. Able to drop this back. That shot by Stepan, way off the mark, taken by the Devils. And Klein able to get a stick on it and keep it alive. Stepan return pass, backhand try by Zuccarello, went wide, picked up by Zajac. 2 minutes left, period 3. The dump in by Zajac, Palmieri to give chase. Those two are on with Mike Camilleri here as the Devils look for the go-ahead goal. Back to the point, Moore with a shot, kicked out by Henrik Lundqvist. Zuccarello able to pick up Lindbergh. He set up the Lone Ranger goal this afternoon. Drops it back. Yandel with a shot, and that deflects up high off Stepan and taken here by Stempniak.
I think Mike Camilleri made a desperation dive and got a skate on that puck.
Stempniak deep in the zone, able to take it away from Yandel. Comes, though, to Kevin Hayes, who skates it back the other way for the Rangers. Here's Hayes motoring in, puts the brakes on Adam Larsson.
Good stiff play from Adam Larsson. Hayes trying to shield the puck with that 6'5" frame you talked about. Larsson wouldn't have any of it, knocked him right to the ice.
Talusti trying to find the handle on the loose puck. Giunta is there with him. Yuri Talusti slowed up by Lindbergh. Giunta plays it back in deep with under a minute to go in the third. Steven Giunta on the foreboards. Battles with this with JT Miller. Taken by the Rangers, punched ahead to Lindbergh, who backhands it towards the Devils' end. Rangers execute a change. Larsson on the puck, punches this ahead. Here's Jordan Tutu, works it across. Steven Giunta, and the Devils are offside with 37 seconds left. Hey, did your key performer match up to who we picked? Tweet in if you agree or disagree with us at #CadillacKP. I think he's measured up today, hasn't he?
He has again. Played extremely well in the nets for the Devils, especially when Rangers went up 1-0. He held the fort, didn't let the Rangers go up 2, and for all intents and purposes would have been tough to come back from. Devils able to bounce back, score a goal, and that's where we stand. But Corey Schneider has stood tall again tonight.
Moore fires in. Camilleri tied up along the far boards, but the Devils punch it back. Here's Andy Green. Opts to play it into the corner. Picked up by the Rangers and banked out of the zone. Moore reaches up. We get another stoppage with 17 seconds left in the third.
Well, again, Devils battled hard here. They've had a tough time against the Rangers. Talk about the 0-4 record last year. 17 seconds to go, and they definitely get a point, Steve. A well-earned point after they came out of the gate slow the first 5-8 minutes where the Rangers were flying and dominating, but Devils settled down and played a pretty good hockey game.
Off the draw, controlled by Klein, and across for Ryan McDonough. Lundqvist has it behind his net. Winds it around the glass. Reaching up to control is Broussard. 2 seconds and 1. Devils again for their efforts. Lock up 1 point. And now in a game that's bearing a great resemblance to what we saw on Friday night. Can they break through and get a win this time? Back with overtime in a moment. The New Jersey Devils Overtime Report is presented to you by New York Life Insurance Company. Keep good going. Oh, for the second straight time, Devils fans are treated to some 3-on-3 overtime. They created just as many chances as the Sharks did in the overtime a couple of nights ago. They didn't get a win for their efforts. The Rangers are a different challenge here, Kenny. What do the Devils have to be careful about?
Well, I'm sure they're going to see a lot of Chris Kreider and his speed 3-on-3 with all that open ice. So you're going to have a safety valve unless you're 100% sure in the offensive zone. You've outnumbered the Rangers down low. Then you can take a chance. But you better have somebody back because all they have to do is a high flip and beat or Chris Kreider, like Joe Montana to Jerry Rice, will skate under that thing and be off the races. So he's one guy in particular with his speed Devils have to watch out for.
Well, last year we told you the 4-on-4 overtime was not kind to the Devils. They were 1-7. It was very good for the Rangers. They were 6-2 in overtime last year. Klein and Broussard each with a pair of overtime winners for the Rangers last season.
Well, I'll tell you, the Devils in this 3-on-3 in preseason, they got a taste of it, looked good. They looked good against the Sharks as well, had many opportunities to end that hockey game, so they've got to feel at least pretty good about themselves in the 3-on-3 situation.
Devils start with 2 defensemen, Green and Larson, on the ice with Henrique. Rangers' lone defenseman is their captain, McDonough. They have Stepan and Nash, the forward pairing, to begin the 3-on-3 overtime. Rick Nash dishes across, and here's Stepan stepping up, fakes the shot. Nash crashing the net, the puck straddling the line, loose in front, and somewhere Corey Schneider settles the puck.
I don't know how that puck stayed out of the, or didn't cross the line out of the net. To put it mildly, you watch, Derek Stepan found himself wide open. Devils kind of lost their men there. He passes down low to Nash, and the puck trickles in the blue paint. Let's take a look right here. Corey Schneider down and out. And oh, what a play by Andy Green last second. That thing was going to go over the goal line. Andy Green just in time, just in the nick of time, saves a goal.
That was McDonough at the side of the net, unable to get his stick on the puck. Now Broussard and Zuccarello come on for the Rangers. Zajac is the lone change for the Devils. Green and Larson remain on for New Jersey. Off the draw, Zuccarello hounded by Andy Green, played behind the net, and now the Devils possess the puck for the first time in this overtime as Larson winds it around to the stick of Andy Green. Adam Larson smoked out and continues on here for New Jersey. Works it across and picks up Zajac. Travis Zajac hauled down by Zuccarello. Nice hit by the Norwegian. Works it across, but the pass intercepted. And Camilleri, we've seen this before, playing it back for Corey Schneider.
Well, that was a pretty nifty move before that by Travis Zajac, and almost hopped by Matt Zuccarello. They would have been 2-on-1.
Now Josephson works it across in the direction of Camilleri. Now John Moore's the lone defenseman on the ice for the Devils. 2 forwards on this shift. Jacob Josephson, one of them, controls for New Jersey. Goes wide on Boyle. Josephson pinned against the boards. John Moore comes in to take possession of the puck. Tried to throw it in front. Taken away by the Rangers. And back they come the other way with Chris Kreider. Making a move. Camilleri's the man back. Power move by Kreider, and he shot the puck wide.
There's the speed that we were talking about as he took advantage of Mike Camilleri playing defense there, not used to or accustomed to being back there, and Chris Kreider blew by him with speed.
Now Hayes for the Rangers settles the puck and controls to the circle, picked up by Kreider, takes a shot off a body in front. Hayes can't find the handle, and Camilleri to the stick of Josephson.
This 3-on-3 is not for the faint of heart, Steve. If you're a fan or even a broadcaster up top here, a lot of things going on.
Palmieri steps on for the first time in the overtime. Works it around Hayes. Intercepted by the Rangers. Guided across. Kevin Hayes can't find the handle on the puck. Back the other way come the Devils. Here's Andy Green into the Ranger zone. Works it across. The one-timer, and a big stop made
my. This is going to be on the highlight reel as well. What a save by Henrik Lundqvist on Kyle Palmieri. The beautiful feed from Andy Green, cross ice. Henrik Lundqvist with the big push off, able to get across. Boy, oh boy, let's look at it one more time. Beautiful pass from Andy Green. Kyle Palmieri even gets that puck up, and Lundqvist able to stay tall enough and stop that off the left shoulder and then get it with his glove.
Off the draw, Henrique and Stempniak on the ice now with Andy Green. Back come the Rangers. Ryan McDonough takes it and goes behind goal. Now comes out at the circle. Dishes off. It's controlled. Nash back for Stepan. Opts to play it into the corner. Picked up here. Nash shielding the puck away from Andy Green. Gives to McDonough. They work it back for Nash. Rick Nash dishes off. Now Stepan has the puck. His wrist shot, he rang it off the pipe. Taken by Green. Back the other way come the Devils. Henrique settles it down. It's a 2-on-1. He's got Stempniak with him. Scores! Stempniak in overtime, and the Devils win it.
Well, just after Derek Stepan rings one off the bar. That's what happens in 3-on-3 with open ice. Devils go the other way. 2-on-1. Adam Henrique settles that puck down, and Lee Stempniak, who's played terrific again this afternoon, earns the Devils their first victory.
Congratulations to John Hynes, his first National Hockey League win as a head coach, sending the Rangers to a third straight defeat, and there's Stempniak's first big moment in a New Jersey Devils uniform.
Really impressed with Lee Stempniak's play, not only this afternoon, but last game and most of the early start. There's the pipe that Derek Stepan hit, and watch Andy Green, real calm, cool, and collected. We'll look at it one more time. Off the pipe, but Andy Green controls the puck after Adam Henrique stays home and able to chip it behind the net. And then he goes out for the outlet pass right in the wheelhouse of Lee Stempniak, and he blows it by Henrik Lundqvist, who just made a beautiful save moments earlier on Kyle Palmieri on the similar type play, except that was left to right. But give Lee Stempniak a lot of credit. Boy, Steve, he's been skating all over the ice night in, night out. This afternoon, no different. He was flying.
Game-winning goal at 3:07 of overtime to snap a 6-game winless streak against the Rangers.
The goal of the game is brought to you by Nissan. Let's look at the Nissan goal of the game, and I'm sure I know which one it is.
The choice of three, and this was the odds-on
The goal of the game by Nissan is going to be the game winner. Here it is as we take a look again. Devils in overtime. Nice outlet pass to Adam Henrique, and look at the patience and time. Adam Larsson slides it over to Lee Stempniak, and he buries it. And this all started from the beautiful clear from their own end. Andy Green, who got the puck out of harm's way after the Rangers had just hit the post. And Lee Stempniak, your Nissan goal of the game.
Surely they'll add a second assist to Andy Green. 2-1 Devils in the win column for the first time this season. Back at the Garden in a moment.